Good evening, this is Pigsy doing another video. I guess really to look at what's possibly out there in this video. I think there's concerns about radiation increasing. I've been watching following things like Nibiru channel and other sort of Nibiru and space weather related topics and other videos out there that are on YouTube. So it looks concerned that there's the radiation levels are increasing. There's things like not just like masses of fish dying. There's also like masses of starfish that have been washing up on in the beaches as well, which seems quite shocking because they're quite resilient creatures. I think if they cut in half, each side can regenerate and things like that. So it's a shame to see things like that, but it just tells you how bad potentially it could be, or it will be. There may be times in the day where you need to just stay in to just avoid sunlight or radiation. Now I don't know how penetrating the radiation is. So for instance, if you're just in a tent or if you're in something quite thin, the light's still penetrating straight through. So it might be still to look at them sort of options potentially there as ways to protect yourself from any sort of type of cosmic radiation, and also taking certain supplements as well. Things like bicarbonate soda are going to be very good. Bentonite clay, also it just cleansing and pulling out any type of toxins that might have got into your body. It's usually radioactive particles that are the worst, because once they're in there, then they cause havoc with your DNA and cause mutations and all sorts of things. So you might have already experienced some of that. I mean, usually each morning you can see the sun's quite bright, and there's a lot of sort of solar activity. So these are things just to be kind of aware of. I think also something that's interesting, like with Mandela effect and these sort of other type of things that can occur. This is like paradox and paradigms. It's been where it's explained that possibly where people keep shouting about the apocalypse is that we've already gone past that timeline. So it's almost like we've somehow averted that timeline. So maybe we've already gone through this matrix once before in the past. And so consciously it's changed the outcome, so we shouldn't over worry about what might come next. Yeah, sure, there could be some disasters ahead, but I don't think it's going to be sort of global wipeout type situation. I mean, it could be, but I don't think that's the plan. It's almost like playing some sort of computer game here. But consciously you've got to want to live, and you've also got to want to create a reality, a future for yourselves. Because if I was looking at this computer game and I just had humans that wanted to kill each other, animals that are constantly enslaved and being tortured, or they're just going for a cycle where all they're doing produce this food just for us, stuck in battery cages and stuff like that. So if we're kind of creating hell on this planet, it may be seen, well, this isn't really been effective. This is working. This matrix, these entities are not evolving. So we might as well delete this timeline. So that's kind of like you could be creating your own end or your own fate to a degree. So it's just a case of seeing what potentially you can create and do good in this world, whatever that might be. Just applying your own skills to make a difference is possibly where you want to be focused. But it's interesting, things like deja vu I've had when I was a lot younger, and some of these events are ones I dreamt about loads and loads of times as well, and then they've actually occurred. There, almost you are in complete shock because they're actually unrolling in front of your eyes, exactly how you might have envisioned them. Or they're in different interpretations of it as well. Like I've had dreams where there's been or strong visions where like tidal waves are hitting, or nukes have gone off, or basically even to see where I've been in my flat and suddenly I just hear all this water gushing in. So I've had to think about potential. Have what you call like a safe room. Create your own little safe room. It might be a cupboard that's next to a sort of load-bearing wall. Somewhere that's got somewhere you can isolate yourself from any sort of blast. It may not be enough, but at least you made an effort to try. Because if you're inland, at which level will it come in? Like I say, if my flat filled up and I was in a sort of air bubble, or I had extra things in there like survival things like an oxygen mask, and maybe I'd just secure myself in this little capsule for a while, and then after half an hour at least try to make a move, believing that possibly the situation would have sort of eased down, or enough for me to have an escape plan. I mean, it could be all sorts of things that have to be sort of considered, and to be honest, you can't think of all of them. So I think definitely use your consciousness, project that into how you want to see yourself in the future, and that's probably what you need to do as well. Most people just live day by day, but possibly having a plan or some focusing on how you may see yourself in the future could help you along your journey. So I think that's important, that at least there's hope, because things have already happened. Changes, I mean, there's interesting stuff that's brought up in these Bibles that have changed. They've got things like words like matrix chucked in there. It could be the elite trying to fiddle around the timelines as well. But there's possibly entities outside of that are operating at some level to change this paradox. And I think also for people to find if they can actually connect to the source, what that might mean. Lots of people get scared because religion basically tells you, this is the way it is, and this is the way you've got to believe it is. But I think you need to find something in your heart to connect to. It's basically nature, the universe, your emotions. You can feel this kind of higher consciousness, whatever that might be to yourself, because it will vary. There's no set rule book. Unless I live as another person, and possibly a changed state of consciousness, I won't be able to experience things in the same way that people do. So it's worth doing it. It's getting spiritual, making your life meaningful to yourself, and then just hope for the best for the future. So that's all we can do for 2017. I'm hoping some entities might turn up at some point. I don't see it as a kind of like potentially a saviour thing, but I think it's more a case of knowing what the truth is, and realising that we're not sort of just a lonely group of humans stuck in somewhere in space, and that's it. There's more to that. There's more players in the game basically than just the human race. So yeah, this is my quick video. I didn't think there was anything else I wanted to raise. I think it was just this kind of connection with there's always going to be a hope for the best kind of scenario, and it's not all doom and gloom. A lot of channels will be leaning towards the apocalypse and so on. It's because they'd like to meet their Jesus and that kind of thing. So they've got a set of thinking. It may not play out how they want it to. I mean, they don't want to be in a situation, because I don't know if anyone can just literally say, oh well, I've made my peace with the Lord, I'm happy just to die. But when they're faced with death, like a tidal wave and things like that, how they might respond. I mean, there was a movie, and in the movie, this guy basically sacrificed his girlfriend, and he says, you can think of all this brave shit at the time, but when it comes down to it, and actually you're faced with it, you do whatever to survive, and that's possibly what might happen in these situations. So I'm also working on a book called the Nibrex, sort of a reptilian Bible. So basically like survival, and also sort of reptilian history and beliefs and spiritual stuff. So something you might see on Amazon. So yeah. Anyway, take care, and speak to you soon.